like fire. Nemo's got the mic dressed in satire. Andrew in the booth, spinning the wheel. Cameras rolling, it's all surreal. Who's the guest today? Who's the guest today? Record spinning, always winning. Right, 'cause Nemo questions pinning. Andrew calls the shot, don't miss the frame. Hobby hooligan, what's your name?
What's up, all you hobby hooligans? Welcome to another episode of Ashtabula Hobby Talk. I'm your host, Rikus, comic book extraordinaire and owner of Captain's Comics. I'm here with Nemo.
Hey, hobby hooligans. My name is Nemo, president of Amigos Radio Club, Ashtabula, and amateur radio enthusiast. And today we are bringing on Miguel from Wretch Game Systems, Red Room Studios. I think that I have that correct. Miguel, is that right? Am I pronouncing the name right? And I got your game system in there, right? All right, very good. Hey, thanks for coming on. You're our first international call, and your game system kind of has me intrigued. I was checking it out, and it's been a while since I've been in the RPG scene, especially on the tabletop side. The last thing I was doing role-playing wise was a bunch of live action vampire stuff. But your game system seems to fall kind of right in line with a bunch of my long-term favorites from back in the day. I used to play Cult and Call of Cthulhu and Cyberpunk and what else did I play? A bunch of those that fall right into this genre. So this is sort of really our first show with an actual game developer. So maybe we could just start with like some 101s and kind of talk about role playing from the concept perspective, like how it works. And then maybe you could introduce everybody to that, like what role-playing is specifically and how the hobby has kind of evolved from your perspective.
Conspiracy X, some others. So it makes sense that you notice something in common here. All the games we have published and released have those inspirations. I started in the 80s, but my most important references were role-playing games from the 90s. So that's when I really started as a game master and also started writing. But at the time, I was just writing for myself and for my own groups. I only started releasing commercial games about 5 years ago.
Okay.
What we
So
exactly.
Like, go ahead.
No, I was just asking where do you want me to start?
So you've been playing for a while then. Maybe this is just me, like from our thing. I never really thought of RPGs as, growing up as being an international thing. So to me, this is sort of a new thing, and I'm glad. How did it filter in? Did it filter in to your country like through the same kind of time frames, with like first edition, second edition D&D stuff? As it
I think there was a delay. Not everywhere in Europe, but in Portugal in particular, there was some delay. There was a very small niche of people that started playing here in the 80s. I'm not sure about the 70s. I don't know, possibly as well, but it was a very small niche. Probably most people started, at least the Gen Xers, they probably started the same way as I did, because there was just one thing that was translated to Portuguese. It was the Red Box D&D, and it was in 1989. So I think that had some. Not, it wasn't a success. It was just again, it was a small niche, but still it was in Portuguese, so more people started playing the hobby and finding out about it at that time. Before, I'm not sure about that. Probably there was a very small group that was playing stuff, and there were very few stores at the time, so it was very difficult to find role playing material here. Uh, at the time, there was that release. They didn't proceed, and they didn't translate the other boxes, the other box sets. So it was just that one. Actually, it was the only thing that was translated to Portuguese, except what is translated in Brazil. It's also Portuguese, but it's Brazilian Portuguese, and they have translated lots of stuff. But here in Portugal, there was just that one. Um, so it was never a popular hobby. Probably, well, it was never a popular hobby anywhere, but in Portugal, it was very, very, very niche. The Spanish and the Italians have a larger market, so I think it was easier to develop it there. Uh, Here in Portugal, it was always a very small market, and so D&D was always popular, the most popular thing. It still is. In the 90s, there were many vampire players as well, old
Yeah,
school players as well.
in the 90s, I remember, and even up through the 2000s, 2007 ish, 9ish. That was when I was doing a lot of vampire playing, especially on the live action side. There was like the One World by Night organization, and they had a game in pretty much every major city around the world. At least it seemed like, and it was like what happened in for us. It might not make make sense for you, but like for us, it was like the game in Cleveland affected the game in Cincinnati, affected the game in California, and those people together could communicate through the STs to affect games in London uh, I would assume Portugal if there was a One World by Night affiliated game there. So that was what kind of drew me to that aspect of that and the acting part. Um, but so with the delay and the translation, how direct is the translation since you're bilingual between what you've seen and what gets published there?
Uh, I didn't hear this last part. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So how direct is the translation between English and Portuguese as you're when you're looking at the role playing game systems?
Sorry. Again, I'm having some audio issues.
Okay, okay. Nope, that's fine. Um, so I was asking uh with the translation. So you're reading the book, and I'm sorry.
It's much better now.
Oh,
I don't know
okay,
what you
okay.
did, but
Well, I don't know what we did either. Maybe their line guy did something good. So the translation between English and Portuguese, how direct is that?
oh, it's a very good translation. It was basically easy to do and easy to understand. Uh, of course, in Portugal, most people can speak English, at least a little bit, and people who are into role-playing games um, usually they read in English novels and all that, so they are used to it. So there was not really a problem after that. After after it was possible to introduce role-playing games in Portugal, people started to just buy in the original versions in English. Of course, in the 90s, it wasn't that easy because the internet was in the beginning, so there weren't online stores as there are now. So it was still a little bit harder to find the books. But sometimes someone went to England or to another country in Europe, and you purchase the games there, and eventually there were a few stores that sold online even in the beginning. It took a long time, of course, to get for the books to get here, but it was a different time, of course, not like now.
So you started playing these games. How long was it before you started developing?
Well, so I started playing in '89. Uh, I was a game master since the beginning, basically. So the usual thing. I was the one who bought the books, so I was the game master. um, and after a while, I started writing my own stuff, but I never published. I never shared it around. It was just for me. Uh, Later, of course, I picked up all those things that I have during all those years that I was playing with my own groups, and then a lot of that material I eventually translated to English and released it commercially.
Awesome.
Yeah. Uh, so the settings, it looks like you have a bunch of different settings. And from what I saw of your game system, you have a core book, and then
Yeah,
from the core book, you actually have like different settings.
I have this one. This is the first one. This one is truly OSR, uh, inspired by a rule cyclopedia, and then later I did this one, which is not really different from the first one. There are some smaller differences. There's no character levels. That's the main difference. Uh, so the first one is Ratchet. I've published more things for Ratchet. The second one is I started about a year ago. It's called Red because of the Red Room. Just that. The first one it's called Ratchet because the concept is characters are supposed to be, at least most characters are supposed to be anti-heroes. That's how we started this concept. The first game we published, it was called Wretched Bastards. It's a fantasy, low fantasy game. Um, Almost sword and sorcery.
Okay.
There are a few um, non-human races, but they aren't very important in here. And magic is also not really common, so it's low magic and low fantasy.
Should be more
And
like
concept,
should be
sorry.
more like it'd be more like Cyworld or Paranoia, one of those kinds of games.
Yeah, so the concept for this was most fantasy games are either very heroic or very gritty, dark fantasy. I wanted to do something in between, not high fantasy, but also not that grim dark thing. So I was we were trying to adapt the concept of spaghetti westerns, where the protagonists are heroes but not pure and extremely nice characters. They are just, well, they are there for interest, for their own interest, and sometimes they do something heroic, but they are not the white hat cowboys
Right,
of the
right.
old
Well,
classic west.
if you look at like all the Clint Eastwood movies, everybody's like, "Oh, he was the hero." No, no, he was in a few dollars more. He was just looking for some more money. Fistful of dollars. He was just looking for more money. Sister Sarah. He just wanted to get with Sister Sarah. I mean, that was all it was. It was nothing. He didn't even really want anything to do with any of those, and he just wanted to be on his way. So yeah, as a Punisher, he's been one of my kind of favorite comic book hero anti-heroes for a long time. People think of Batman as an upfront hero, but in reality, he's an anti-hero too. So I the whole concept of the anti-hero really does kind of turn me on to that. Rikus, I know he's a big fan of a bunch of the sci-fi movie type stuff that you're.
I'm a big fan of spaghetti westerns and like old Quentin Tarantino style stuff. He was inspired by a lot of spaghetti westerns. So if you made a game with a spaghetti western theme, I mean that's got my interest. I think that's pretty neat.
What other settings, if I'm not mistaken, that he has? He's got settings that would fall into like the grindhouse or um so you've got some settings that are like grindhouse, Quentin Tarantino grindhouse type settings, Dusk Till Dawn type settings, right?
Sorry, but the sound is also is again. I don't know what happened.
What kind of movies were you inspired by that you create settings around?
We got them yet? Maybe we'll get them caught up. It might be. I mean, there is a long distance between us, so that's okay. Did we pick you back up there?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
What kind of movies were you inspired by creating a settings for?
But not you.
He was asking about the movies that inspired some of the settings.
Oh yeah. There are many because there are many different settings. But I can. So, for example, for this Wretched Bastards, the Conan movies, also a few of those movies that were inspired by Conan, or at least that came after Conan, like fantasy ripoffs. Most of those were Italian productions, like The Barbarians and Conquest, and some of that stuff. Some of those are very bad, but they still have that different. I don't know, that different approach to fantasy. Um, of course, the everything that is spaghetti western, all of those movies, uh, and then also Italian horror movies of the 70s, thrillers, and those non-supernatural movies were popular in the 1970s, such as movies by, for example, by Dario Argento, Mario Bava,
I
who
know those.
also have the same kind of approach where the characters are not heroes; they are survivors. They are surviving. They are trying to be alive until the end of the movie. Sometimes they are not. Um, and then, of course, American movies like the Death Wish, lots of Clint Eastwood movies, like Dirty Harry, of course.
Yep.
And then, well, some of those very low budget science fiction movies of the 80s. Not Star
Well,
Wars. Everything
all these
that came out. Sorry?
are all these games like interconnected together? Like you can go from like a spaghetti western into like a Conan type settings.
He was saying, are the games interconnected? So if you brought up a character in the spaghetti western settings, I'm assuming you have some like sci-fi grindhouse type setting. You can move them
Yes,
into a setting like that.
exactly. Yes. We have, so we started with that low fantasy, then we made a western, a space opera, a grindhouse, several actually grindhouse. There's one generic grindhouse. There's one for giallo. There's one for horror. So and they are interconnected. Yes. Um, so the rules are the same in this case. So this is the rule book. The other the So for example, so there's this is called Ratchet, the core book, and then each setting book has Ratchet plus the name Ratchet Country, Ratchet Bastards, Ratchet Space, Ratchet, etc. So those books are just the setting plus additional rules, different archetypes, different skills, but the main rules are all the same. So you can play. I know there are people doing that, playing time traveling or dimensional traveling, and picking up the different settings and joining them together.
Okay.
to give him another try. Because now he's not picking me up.
Okay.
Holler.
Can you still hear me?
Now, again,
No?
I
Nope.
can hear.
All right. Well, that's okay. I don't know why we're having that issue. What's going on there? Now it's not picking me up. Hey, but that's okay. Why is it not picking me up now? Yeah. Are you hearing me up there? Okay. All right. Well, all right. So that gets you kind of distracted. Well, that's good. So you're at like, I don't know, it looked like you were at like 25 or so 30 settings now.
Sorry, there were some cuts.
Oh,
I could
it
hear
looked like you were pushing about 25 or so different scenario settings.
cuts again.
All right. Well, hopefully it'll speed back up. Let's see if it gets it back to it. There is a distance there, so there's going to be some internet delay, and I get it. No, still no.
Move it back closer.
It's
Well,
all
we'll try
cut, and
this. We'll try this. Is that better?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
We had a good thing going.
we had a
and you
good
moved
thing
it.
going there for a minute. So we'll try working on another thing. So you said your OSR system. I'm assuming it looked like it was kind of a light rule system, very easy to open up and interpret.
Yeah, we try to do it light. So if you played anything
I'm hearing.
OSR related, you probably it's easy to
Got
understand
me.
any. I don't know if you were asking something because I saw that you were
Oh
talking.
no. Go
Oh,
ahead. We were talking about your game system being a little bit light on the rules, so that it's open for
yeah. So
interpretation.
it's OSR and but it's simple. Like most OSR games, it's simple. If you play one, you probably know all the others. So
Sure.
the attributes are mostly the same. Um, the rules are same way. You roll a d20, you apply modifiers. There's a target number, the usual thing. So there's no. It's of course there are lots of optional rules that can complicate a little bit things, but they are optional. So if you can add them or not, and of course, and every setting has optional and alternative rules that modify the base rules, but the point was to make it. Of course, this one is a little bit simpler. I tried to do Red even more streamlined than Ratchet.
So
And again,
I,
I'm not
you
hearing
did say
anything.
something about. Oh, again, you're not hearing.
No
Wait, it's
sound.
not picking me up. All right. Well, we'll try. There it goes. It says it's sending something. Maybe
Yeah, so you got an earpiece in. Your microphone's on your ear. It's not on the phone.
no, my microphone doesn't have an ear. My earpiece doesn't have a mic though.
Oh.
So, all right. So, you mentioned that you don't have a level system in the game. So, how do characters progress then?
And in Ratchet, it's strictly OSR. Characters have
Okay.
levels, and the other one is a little bit different. So you get skill, you get experience points, and you can use skill points, experience points to level up skills, not characters. So you level up the skills, and you can also increase attributes. It's a little bit difficult to increase attributes and to increase skills, but so it's like that. It's basically the same thing, except instead of leveling up the character, you level up your stats individually instead of leveling up the character.
How difficult was it for you to actually write your own game? Get all the rules down? Was it pretty difficult?
Did you catch that one? No. All right. So, Rikus asked how difficult it was for you to get the game together and write all the rules
get
down
published.
and get it published?
Sorry.
So Rikus asked how difficult it was to do the game development and get all the rules down and get it published.
Well, it's self-published, so that part was simple enough. Of course, I had to do it myself. Everything I do the writing and the layout, um, and I use Lulu for printing. It's I don't know if you know Lulu. It's
A little bit. I know Lulu. I know it's a publish on demand and
yeah, printing. So basically, they do the same thing as drive-through, but it's not specifically for role-playing games. There are
okay.
plenty of role-playing games there, but they have other stuff like novels and poetry and all that. But of course, we are not selling on drive-through because we were banned from there. So I would rather be on drive-through.
So yeah, that seems to be where a lot of the RPG guys go. What happened there?
Okay, so about 3 years ago, uh, a guy had a game he wanted to publish, but he knew that it was very controversial, potentially controversial. So he wanted to find someone to release it for him. So he asked me, and I said, "Well, okay, so let's try that." Um, so the reason the game was controversial is because it's basically, well, it's not really a game meant to be played. It's more like a game to be read, like a satire. It's extremely funny. It's called Man. It's a fantasy game where you play man, of course, but that's the concept. In a very weird setting where the bad guys are feminazis and terrorists, and so the game itself is satirical on several subjects, mostly on feminism, basically. So that was the reason that the game would be controversial. And when it was published, immediately after being published, someone so there's that on drive-through they have that report thing where people can report a title and for some reason, whatever the reason is, and this one was reported on the very first day it was released. It wasn't the first time that happened. Before we had some other titles, our titles, that were reported. There were horror titles, common things, but they were reported for violence or whatever. And those everything was okay. So, but when a title is reported on drive-through, they take it out and for review, and it stays out for a few days. It's very bad if the title is reported on the first day because that's the time when they are most visibly seen on the site, like on the new releases. So it's kind of annoying if someone reports a title on the very first day or the second. It's bad for sales because obviously on the first days, because they are more visible, they sell more. So it kept happening. It was so when we released Man, we had, I don't know, 3 or 4 titles had been reported, and during those days that they are reviewing them, they are out of the shelves. And when that happened to Man, we complained about it on social media. And about, I don't know, maybe 1 month before that happened, they had changed their rules, and they had added one rule to the publisher, so which they called hostile marketing clause. And that means that you cannot basically you cannot complain about drive-through decisions publicly, because that's considered by them as hostile marketing. So they are using. So if you use their name and by complaining, supposedly to increase your sales or whatever, that's reason for a ban. And we were banned about 3 or 4 days after that.
I see. I see. So it sounds like they're just kind of making the decision as they go, and they didn't give you a
Yeah.
good rebuttal for the situation.
No, they didn't say anything. They just the game was removed. We did a video, a YouTube video about that, the fact that it was removed, and we mentioned the other titles that have been reviewed before. All of those the titles that they had reviewed before, they all came back and they had no problems. This one, I'm sure they would have found problems. But they never mentioned that because they basically said, okay, actually, they didn't say anything. They banned us from the store. I noticed it because everything disappeared from the site. And after that, hours after that, I received an email informing us that we had been banned from the store, permanently banned.
You got your own website now that you sell everything through, right?
So now you've got everything set up through your own web services and your print on demand stuff, right?
Where can we find it?
Yeah, so now we sell on several places. We have sold on several places. There were a few stores, independent stores, where we sold, but they don't exist anymore. They were very briefly because it's very hard to compete against drive-through. They are the monopoly store, and sometimes there's a small store that appears and it lasts for a year or two, and then it goes away. But we've opened our own store. We also sell at itch.io, which sells digital products only. And we have sold at Lulu since the beginning because I've always preferred Lulu's print-on-demand services. They are better than drive-thrus. So even when I was selling at drive-thru, I was already selling at Lulu at the same time, especially for the print-on-demand because it's much better.
All right. So you say your own store, like your own storefront, online there, and then are there actual brick and mortars that you do distribution through?
Sorry again,
Um,
having
are
audio issues again.
Oh no, sorry about that. Are there actual brick and mortars that are distributing your game system now?
It's not better.
Not better. All right. Well,
Mhm.
give it a second here. So my question was, are there actual gaming stores that you're brick and mortar gaming stores, physical gaming stores that are distributing the game now?
Sorry.
Don't know. All right. Well, hopefully it'll pick right back up. Um, we give it a second here. There, that might have caught up now. How about that? Is that better?
Not really. I can hear you, but there's always cuts, and sometimes in the middle of a sentence, I just stop hearing anything.
All right. Well, it's okay. We know that there's a huge delay between us and you there, so to speak. So, the brick and mortars, do you do distribution through brick and mortar
No, no,
stores?
no. No, that would be very difficult. I just use Lulu service where you can just go there and buy it, and it will be delivered to you. I don't even ship things from here because it would be very expensive. Most of the customers are in the US. Shipping costs from here to the US are ridiculous, and because Lulu has printers in the US and Europe, and I'm not sure if they have printers anywhere else, but they have several printers in the US and several in Europe. That's where we sell mostly.
Okay.
I think we
Okay.
have some customers customers in Australia as well, but not that many. And probably they just buy digital because if they are going to uh, pay for shipping from Europe or the US, it's also very costly. So I think we mostly sell for the countries in Europe and the US.
What's the website?
Uh,
South America, I don't know. I have no idea.
okay, okay. All right. So, I obviously got a Facebook page. And where can people find you? With the website for the game systems, all that stuff.
Okay, so our website. Uh, there's no reason right now to advertise it because it won't be a store anymore after 31st December. We are only selling it at Lulu and itch.io for tax reasons. Here in Portugal, sales are taxed, and so I've decided that selling through the website itself it's not a good idea. So I'm going to just sell it at drive-through, not drive-through, at Lulu and itch.io. It's called Red Room, so it's easy to find it there. Probably I can send you the link. You can put it in the description, maybe.
Yeah, for some reason YouTube's been goofy about letting us do that. I think because we're so new as a channel. But I do know you've got a YouTube channel. Is that correct?
Yeah, we do have a YouTube channel. Yeah. It's also called the Red Room.
Okay. Okay. Very good. And that is as response as to the game, not the internet myth.
So in the YouTube we do several stuff. We do promotional videos, of course. We do actual plays, but we also do chats with interviews with other people in the OSR, especially, but not just the OSR. We have other guests. Uh, Actually, the channel was started even before we started publishing.
Do you have a new game in development right now? What can we look forward to?
So you've
At
got
the
Red there.
moment, what I have been doing
Heard you.
mostly is to pick up some of the older scenarios and doing some changes, correcting some typos, and because again, before we used this format, now we are. This is I'm not sure what's it called, digest, I think. This is a US letter, and I prefer this format. At the time, some people convinced me that I should use the digest, but for the layout, it's not really. It's easier to do the layout for that, and the art looks better in US letter format. So I'm trying to pick up some of the older releases and doing a new version in the different format. Probably the next thing that I'm going to release is going to be a street level superhero game. We've done one which is called Vigilantes, Ratchet Vigilantes. It's like The Boys, something like that. But
Good
with
series.
a power level a little bit lower than that. We are going to do another one. This will be a little bit different, but still in the same style of street level superheroes, not extremely powerful
That
heroes.
sounds right up my alley.
So that's probably going to be the next thing, the next new thing. After I finish this re-release of older titles.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot out there for like the superhero tabletop RPG stuff. So having something out there for that, I think there's the Marvel system, there's Champions, there's a couple others. But man, the Marvel system was a good one. I liked that one. It was very rules light, very open to role play, but Champions was like a number cruncher. I couldn't take it. So
Yeah,
having
there's also
something in
games that have too much rules. Yeah, I really am not a big fan of extremely complicated rules.
Hmm.
Never was.
Yeah, Rikus is a huge superhero fan there.
Yep.
He'd be looking forward to that. Absolutely. All right. Well, hey, so man, thanks for coming on the show with us. I appreciate you being here. Hopefully we can have you back and we can talk about something else, maybe movies or it sounds like we got a lot in common there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, if you want to talk about movies, I'll be available certainly. That's my favorite
Okay.
subject. We always end up talking about movies in our channel, so it's our favorite subject there.
Yeah, some movies aren't for everybody. I know Rikus and me both are Quentin Tarantino fans. I love Grindhouse when it came out. I'm a Antonio Banderas fan too. I like a lot of his movies, his spaghetti westerns.
I'm a
So
big fan of almost any movie.
yeah, he loves a lot of movies. I'm a monster movie fan myself. Uh, I've been a Godzilla fan since the beginning. So that and giant robot type movies. I like those too. But um, so yeah, absolutely. Maybe we can bring you back on. We'll do a big roundtable with some movie stuff.
Maybe I'll get that vigilante street level superhero game and play that and have a we'll talk about that next time.
Oh,
I
you
didn't
didn't hear
hear,
him.
but
Okay, he said he's looking forward to the street level vigilante superhero game. He said he's going to try and grab a copy of it, maybe do a couple gaming sessions with it. We'll bring you back on the show, talk movies and
I will
how his game went.
send you news about the releases and all that.
Okay, very
Do
good,
you have
very
a
good.
Facebook page for your channel or just
We are in the process of putting a website together for the channel. Right now, we
okay.
just do Facebook and YouTube. We're probably looking at going to multi-platform here pretty soon. We're looking at Rumble and a couple other platforms because YouTube is it's YouTube. It's great,
A while
but it's
ago, I
also
was uploading stuff for Rumble, but then we didn't have that many views there. It's a little bit more difficult than YouTube to grow the channel.
yeah.
So I sometimes upload for Rumble, but not always.
Yeah, we just haven't started doing it yet. I think we'd be okay doing it over there too. We're not it seemed like Rumble started as sort of a political channel, a political streaming service. Now it's sort of branching out into other areas. People are going to a little more. YouTube is getting seems like every other day YouTube is changing their rules a little bit. Not
Yeah,
that
yeah. I would rather be somewhere else. YouTube has issues, but
Yep.
it's still well, it's where we started, so that's where we still have more followers. So just it's for now. Still,
right,
it's
right.
still the easiest place to get views.
All right. Well, keep us informed as to the updates coming out. We're looking forward to the superhero game. Me and Rikus, we'll sit down and we'll play some superheroes together. We haven't had a chance to do any role playing together, and I think that would be a good opportunity for us to do that.
And you can pick up his game at Lulu.
Yep. Pick up his game at Lulu, and
Play the game and leave a message in below how you like it.
yeah, or any of the games, not just a street level superhero. So look for Wretched Games on Lulu. Is that right?
Yeah, everything. Also, as I said, I'll send you the information about stuff if you want.
All right. All right. We'll put it out there somehow. All right. So we still got a couple of closing things that we got to deal with. I know we haven't hit 100 quite yet as far as subscribers,
We're getting
but that's
close.
okay. Our view counts keep going up, but our subscribers keep inching up. That's okay. So for those people who don't know, if once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to give away this beautiful coffee mug right here. This is not one of a kind, but one of probably 12 that are left from my radio show, my amateur radio net, and somebody else is going to get, or that same person, they're going to get this. Oop, see, look, I keep saying it. I know we didn't say anything about it last week, but look at that. Oh, shake it out a couple times. Look at that. It's a beautiful t-shirt. It's Captain's Comics t-shirt. So once we hit 100 subscribers, somebody's going to win beautiful Captain's Comic t-shirt and the coffee mug. So that's cool. And let me see if I can't pull this up. Do you got something else on your list of things you got to close out with?
No, I think I'm pretty good right now on announcements.
Okay, I got one more thing I got to pull up here. And that's because this Saturday on the 13th, Amigos Radio Club, Ashtabula, the radio club, we're going out to the Jefferson Conservation Club, or which is where we hold our monthly meetings at. They're doing their yearly Christmas benefit dinner. Bring a box of canned food or a box of non-perishable food or some canned food items and enjoy a Christmas dinner with a benefit auction at the end. That's going to be 12/13 this coming weekend at 5:00 at the Dorset Community Center. They give a dinner out to the public. It's free to get in. Just bring some canned food and some perishable food items to donate to the home food shelters. And then they have an auction that sponsors one or two families every year, so that they have they use that money and make sure they have a great Christmas. And so come out to the Dorset Community Center. That's 2681 State Route 193 in Dorset, Ohio. Start time is at 5 p.m. Dinner is served at 6:30. Auction starts usually around 7:30, 8 o'clock, right after everybody's had enough time to eat and get organized there. So we'll be out there volunteering, helping them with the food and collecting the food and helping them serve up the food and running for them for the auction, making sure that the auction goes.
That's awesome.
So yeah, please come out and check that out. It's a good cause. And you guys are doing the Toys for Tots thing?
Yes, Toys for Tots. This Friday, tomorrow, the 12th.
The
Is that
12th?
tomorrow?
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the last day, so let's fill this box up and bring some toys
It
in.
looks like you were getting a lot of people in there filling up the box.
We absolutely did. Some of my really good valued customers, like Matt, he came in today again, and he donated like a whole box full of stuff. I mean, he's a real cool guy. He's doing a Whatnot TV show or a internet thing tomorrow. I think that's invite only, but you can look for him on Whatnot. But I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if you came out and hung out with us at the comic book shop and brought your radio friends and maybe did like some kind of Christmas and
You know, there's the CQ Santa thing that takes place every year where you can call out and talk to Santa Claus up at the North Pole as an amateur radio operator, and that's a pretty cool thing.
you can talk to Santa.
Let me talk to a couple of the guys in the radio club, see if we can't get a mobile station out there, and maybe we can promote that somehow. It's a little short notice. For
Right.
sure, we can make it a yearly tradition, though, I would think.
Well, let me make the arrangements on my end, and you make your arrangements on your end, and
Let me
hang
check
in
the
for an
net.
announcement of something possible. Awesome.
Let me check the schedule for the CQ Santa stuff, and we'll see if we can't work a day out to get up there.
Great.
I think that would be a great idea. How about you, Andrew? You think that would be a good idea? Yeah, he's shaking his head yes back there, our line producer, who's the extra class that would have to come with me so that we could actually make that contact. All right, very good. All right, well, thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Appreciate you. Hopefully you enjoyed our guest, and hobby on.
Stay safe out there. Hobby on.